my name is Megatron Bison and welcome to this final episode of Let's Play Kickmaster on the NES. We finally made it to Belzed's haunted tower, and hang on a minute, they never mentioned this was haunted before, did they? Ah well, as you can see, the red clawed enemies and irritating whirlpools have appeared again. They managed to mainly add to the difficulty of this stage by way of knocking you to the bottom of the screen, which for some reason means instant death. Even if you were just standing there seconds beforehand and know there's ground there, so that's pretty damn annoying. The whirlpools are still easily taken out, but you know, with their random pattern coupled with these other enemies, they really do just manage to become that little bit more irritating. And if you're near a pit, then you're in trouble. Otherwise though, with the amount of abilities you've stacked up at this stage, once again, even a poorer player should really have full experience by now and be on the top level and able to do the little blazing flip kick and stuff like that there, and the butterfly kick, and that will really help you take out most of these enemies with no bother. As you can see, we're in some sort of like haunted cathedral-ish place or castle or something. It's kind of nice looking. The music, I'm kind of disappointed by the tune for this final area, but I guess it's okay. Just still not quite as pumpy as you would expect for this final area. Got some breakable blocks here and not so hidden pickups. And again, at this stage, the game's just really putting you through your paces, just seeing you if you've learnt anything from what you've been doing so far. It's throwing these new green ninja-esque enemies at you. They're not quite like the other ones we've seen before, they're a bit slower, but again, they're no real threat to you at this stage. You should really be able to take on stuff like that by now. Up here is our first mini-boss of the stage, which is this flying bird demon kind of thing, which is wielding two axes. He floats along shooting projectiles at you, or goes in for a big swoop attack after he's shot a beam of these here little wind blades. But again, both attacks are easy avoided, and the blazing flip kick is going to take him out in a fairly efficient manner, as you see here. Over here we end up fighting this brand new night enemy, and a few screens ahead of him you'll be bombarded with the bird enemies again. You also have this horrible wiggling pillar of balls, and it's completely invincible, so with no special items on those screens there, it's best just to rush past the enemies and return to our vertical climb of death. And yeah, up here we've got some more of those cockatrice enemies, but again, they're really no problem now we've got our blaze kick, and those Grim Reaper enemies start appearing again. They're both floating up and down the screen, which is quite funny. And there's another few hidden items here, but to be honest, you're probably going to pick these up accidentally through the course of playing the game rather than having to use the spell to seek them out anyway, the way they're positioned. We've got some brown ninjas here, but again, you can really exploit their AI and take them out with little or no effort once again. This area is fairly safe from you falling to the bottom of the screen, so you can play a little sloppier here, but it's best to try and build up magic potions as much as you can, as well as just keeping as much energy as possible, because you're going to have another mini-boss coming up soon. Over here, I finally get the chance to show off the magic boots. These allow you to walk in spikes, and that's it. And there's so few occasions to actually use them in the game that really it's next to nothing in pointlessness. Here we've got the second mini boss, which is a centaur bowman, who's the only one attack, which is that multi-arrow attack. And to be honest, if you follow him round and attack him, he can't get any further hits off and dies really easily, just like here. Kind of pathetic really if you know how to deal with them. Otherwise, even then, only really a mediocre enemy to take care of, like to fight the first few times. I'd be surprised if anybody got killed by him. With your slide kicks and your fly kicks, you just are able to outrun any of his bow attacks. Back here we've got the return of the bouncing mushroomy turdy enemies. This time they're pink, however. And some of those green ninja fellas too. I finally used the Force Shield spell, which protects me from some of the worst damage from the mages here, but this area is completely beyond irritating. Basically, what we've got here are some really annoying pink wizards combined with the green balls falling down, as well as these here disappearing spikes. It's a real nasty combination. You can try to rush through it, but then the green balls might knock you down. So the best thing to use is that their Force Shield, and basically that will protect us from the wizard's bolts at the very least. Finally see these turrets again. They're back from level 2, and once again our Force Shield will take care of those. I get a 1-up here, which is rather nice. I can't really complain about that. And we also see our first practical and necessary use for the Harpy spell, which can fly us over to this hidden route, which has some hidden health pickups. As you can see, the Harpy spell really sucks up the old energy meter, and it's best used sparingly. You're going to have to use it to escape this area, but with a wizardy gangbang, I once again put on my force spell and just take these guys out slowly but surely. As you can see, they just randomly teleport all over the place, and they're not even guaranteed to teleport to an area where they can hit you with the magic anyway. I probably don't really need to play it this safe, but I find being patient's the best way to go about these kind of games. Anyway, that's the last wizard out, and I used the Harpy spell again, and look at it just gobble up the magic. That's like 40 MP just to get out of there. It's raining balls again on Thonolan, and at the same time, I think I've got the skills to beat this here. Just gonna get past this here irritating wizard guy. Eat that. And I'll jump over here and carry on, because I'm the unstoppable Kickmaster. And fuck.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, back here again. Well, I'm just gonna do a careful edit out here. Snip. And yeah, I don't think I can really emphasize enough how much I hate this area. It's really a sadistic combination of enemies and environment designed to push your patience and ability to the limit. But I'm willing to say that compared to the Green Grape Room and the Famicom only Holy Diver, this is much easier to handle. It's still a little cheap and shitty. Those green balls, really, I don't even know, like, why were they there with the Kraken? I thought that at that stage maybe it was cannonballs or something being fired, or some sort of weird, you know, out at sea weather or something like that there, but no, they just appear in Belzed's tower just to piss you off something rotten. And again with the pink wizards and the pits of death, it can be a pain, and I managed to mess up flying here and gobble up even more MP than intended. Again here, you can see I'm just trying to be patient, just glad the green balls didn't start any sooner. And up here is a return of the weird alien head boss from level 3, and having died many times preparing the footage for this stage, I take the cheap way out and I wedge myself in where the mini boss nor iron balls can push me into the instant death pit. So yeah, it's cheap, but you're going to take a lot of physical punishment. As you can see, it's almost impossible to react to the steel ball things at this stage, but this is easily the best option going. It's best just to take some HP damage and get out of this area rather than tempting fate and making you restart the level again. The blazing flip kick, as you can see, you can again trap him and kill him off rather easily, and now it's just a matter of trying to kick through these blocks while not getting pushed off the screen again by those horrible iron balls. Finally, we're in the throne room of Belzed, where we're going to be taking on 4 of those weird shape-shifting... Yes, anyway. Those enemies from stage 3, that seems to be easier to say. And they can be pretty tough, they can take quite a lot of hits. So basically, As you can see here, I'm cheap and I'm just going to try and trap them in the corner with a butterfly kick. These guys have the shields just to be a wee bit more irritating, but if you're patient, you can trap them in the corner. And that's really the safest thing to do, basically try and bait them or try and knock them into the corner, depending on what you'd prefer to do, and then just keep them trapped there and mash your kick button and hope that you get an enemy that, unlike this lizard man, won't shield every attack. As you see, I have to move slightly there just to trigger him to attack me rather than trying to use his shield, but now I've got an armadillo man that I seem to be getting hit around by more than I really ought to at this stage of the game. Oh, the little pink frog, or purple frog rather. Again, this game just seems to love the colour purple. It can turn into lots of irritating kind of enemies, and the fact that so many of them have so much health compared to what you normally would, you mightn't be used to using your tactics to like do a knee drop on them. You'd expect them to instantly die, but this time they won't, so you're going to take a hit. Same with slide kicks perhaps, you just got to be careful. But as you can see here, you can just corner trap them with ease if you get the knack to it. And now we're finally up against the final boss, Belzed. The evil sorceress teleports all over the place, and she's going to shoot out lightning bolts that do heavy damage, as you will see in a second. She has a ton of health, the same as your maximum health, and it can be difficult predicting where she's going to appear and then getting off an attack while getting the chance to escape her. So you just got to be nippy and get in there and hit her boot to the face. Fighting her legitimately, it's just going to take you a lot of time and probably a lot of practice just to get the timing down. However, Belzed didn't reckon on Thonolan bringing in his own magic to the party, and well, the earthquake spell freezes all enemies, including Belzed, for a number of seconds, allowing us to easily corner trap her and whittle her energy down without any concern for our own life. So, it's earthquake time here, and I'll kick her over to the corner, and occasionally you'll see me pause from attacking her, just to check if the quake magic's beginning to wear off, but once Belzed's defeated, we're going to get our ending. So it's just a matter of judging the timing on your spell and kicking away. That's if you don't want to do it legitimately. Belzed's no more, and as you see, Thonolan uses this harpy magic to fly our princess, or is that going to be queen rather now, to safety. As they destroyed your king's castle, so now do you torch the tower of Belzed. I guess Thonolan believes in an eye for an eye. And as we read here, Thonolan disappears, never to be heard from again. It's almost as if the developers knew the game wasn't going to be a big hit, isn't it? And here we get a friendly congratulation message from Ken Lobb, who worked on many great games prior to this one, including GoldenEye, where he had a gun named after him, the K-Lob. And the game challenges you to play it on a more higher difficulty, but yeah, at this point, that's the game over really. And I'd like to thank you for staying with me for my first ever Let's Play video. I hope you enjoyed it, and it might have made you consider playing Kickmaster yourself. And hopefully I'll see you sometime again soon for another Let's Play. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Megatron Bison, and this has been Let's Play Kickmaster.